On this week's episode, it's rivalry weekend in college football, which means decisions will be made for the college football playoff. The NBA in-season tournament courts make me wish that my retinas would burn out. Talk about what I'm thankful for, one of which is apparently not being a rich white billionaire, because man, do they have it tough. Wake up, Mules Nation. Time to dig into some turkey. Welcome to the Sports Mules. I'm your host, Eric Kiner. Whenever you're listening, however you're listening, thank you for making this show a part of your day. I really do appreciate it. And also, happy Thanksgiving. Again, I don't know where you're listening to it, but if it's today, great. If it's some other day, I still wish you a happy Thanksgiving. So today's Thanksgiving, I will be leaving to go up to see the Easton Phillipsburg game here, where I live. Big high school game, fills up the Lafayette College football stadium more than Lafayette College does, although they've made the playoffs this year. So congratulations to them. But it's always a massive event. Big bonfire yesterday. Both communities take it super seriously, and it's just a good time, and it's fun. I haven't got to experience a lot of them over the years, mostly because while I was coaching, we would be in playoff games. I have a bowl game coming up, so I didn't have the opportunity to go, but I do this year, so I'm excited to do that. But I'm more excited to see the people who went out last night for Thanksgiving Eve and then decided to just stay out for the evening, and now are already making their way up for the game. So that's always fun to see. You know that part of Thriller, like when they finally start coming out of like the grays before the dance, right? Before the dance and before the alleged fun Michael had with everybody else. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Everybody walking out and starts creeping their way up there, and there's something special about 8:30, 9 in the morning and watching people just crack open a ice cold Miller Lite on Thanksgiving, because that's what holidays are about, right? It's about some football, it's about family, it's about food, it's about enjoying life, and most importantly, it's about getting ass backwards blacked out so you don't remember any of it. That's why people enjoy it. So yeah, let's get into it. So this weekend is essentially the final regular season football weekend for 2023. It goes so fast. I mean, it literally seems like it was just the other day we were in summer and heading toward Labor Day and getting ready for the season to start, and everybody had high hopes. And here we are. This is essentially the last weekend. Rivalry games kind of really figure out what the college football playoffs will look like, really help us towards that Final Four push. And I know there's still, championship weekend with all the conference championships, but this weekend really sets it up. It's really pivotal because as it stands right now, we have Georgia at 1, Ohio State at 2, Michigan at 3, and Washington has moved up into the 4th position, moving above Florida State, who had their quarterback had a leg injury, who is essentially now out for the rest of the year, and as he has posted online, finished with his college career. So I don't know how much that had an effect on them getting moved down or whatnot, but so that's how things shake out. And of course, this weekend is the big one. It's Michigan, Ohio State, which will really, I don't know how much effect it's going to have on them being in the Final Four, because really they're both undefeated. They're 2-3. Whoever wins is not necessarily out of this, right? And I know everybody on TV is going to talk about, if one of them really just comes out here and just demolishes the other one and really just crushes them, then that doesn't. They say that every year, and it hasn't happened. Ohio State got completely kicked in the teeth last year and owned at Ohio State at home, and they still made it because it's Ohio State. They're going to figure out a way. Now USC really helped them out last year as well by completely shitting the bed in everything. They got crushed in the Pac-12 championship game, and then they got smacked around by Tulane. Again, nothing against Tulane in the Cotton Bowl. So they got some help, but they were, greatly assisted by, USC helping them out to get in there. But then they proved themselves that they belonged anyway by giving Georgia, just a complete run for their money, and probably should have won the game. But, obviously that didn't work out, and then we know how last year ended. But, so yeah, a loss by either one I don't really think means too much. They're basically in both of those. Georgia has Georgia Tech, which is essentially a minor league version of an Ivy League team. So they're just going to get basically, donkey kicked in the face by the Bulldogs. And then Washington has the Apple Cup, which is a legit battle. Washington is a serious contender for not only to be in the playoffs, but to possibly make a run at a championship. They're that caliber of team. And Washington State, as we've talked many times before, Washington State is a very good program, very well run, very well coached. And rivalry games, anything could happen. We've talked about that before in the past, right? In rivalry game, anything is possible. And considering this might be the last Apple Cup that we see for a very long time, there's a lot riding on this. And I'm sure there's nothing that Washington State, good old Wazoo, would enjoy more than just completely ruining the lives of their top rivals in the Huskies. So a lot going on there. And then we also have, leading up to the Pac-12 championship game, which looks currently like it is going to be Washington and Oregon if everything continues to play out. Oregon has Oregon State in the Civil War, which is very similar to Washington and Washington State, right? This is the last time this game is going to be played for quite some time, for the foreseeable future. And again, nothing that they would love more than just to completely rain on their rivals' parade, who are not only, leaving them, but kind of abandoning them up there in the Pacific Northwest. So, again, anything could happen in either one of those games. Now, I see Washington and Oregon winning, and then one of the more exciting championship games I think I've really wanted to see in quite some time is going to be a rematch between Washington and Oregon. So, a lot going on there, but looking at things for the rest of the weekend as well, for rivalry weekend, every region is kind of covered, right? We just talked about Ohio State and Michigan, which is probably the big one. Then up in the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, Oregon State, USC versus Common Sense. We also have the Egg Bowl, so we have Mississippi State versus Ole Miss. I guess they like eggs in Mississippi. I guess so. That sounds bold. We have Iron Bowl in Alabama. Alabama versus Auburn, which again, this is another one of these you can take records. Who knows what's going to happen? There's times that you think Alabama should just crush Auburn, and then Auburn either stays with them, fights with them, or beats them. I believe it was last year, right, that we had the overtime battle. So anything could happen there. The only game that I'm really concerned about as far as rivalry goes is we still have a few weeks for it. We have Army-Navy. And I don't know if you've seen the uniforms for these games. Every year, Army-Navy comes up with these just absolutely beautiful uniforms for these games, and this year is no different. Army has some sort of kind of desert sand tan uniforms, which doesn't sound super appealing, but when you see them, they are very nice. And then the Navy went with the Silent Service uniforms, which are the submarine force, which are these just absolutely amazing black uniforms. So be sure to go Google those, look those up. Naturally, go Navy, beat Army. That's goes without saying. And then what's probably also the biggest rivalry of the week, and probably the biggest rivalry going forward. It's been a big one for a long time, which is essentially just Texas A&M versus sound financial responsibility. So that's also a big matchup. But yeah, this weekend a lot's going to go on that kind of is really going to set up the pieces now for the college football playoffs, and the next 10 days or so are really gonna, we'll know for sure probably after this weekend what it's going to really look like, and then just excited for championship weekend and really solidify it and move on to this final stage of the college football season, which again just seems absolutely insane that we're basically at the end already, and then bowl season. So our number 2 story for this week is the continuance of the NBA in-season tournament, which I understand, and I'm actually a supporter of the NBA making kind of this in-season tournament. I know I've heard a lot of gripes and complaints, and some people have liked it. Most people so far have not been massive fans of it, but I'm a full supporter of it for the simple fact of, there are 82 games in the NBA regular season, and minus maybe 15 games total throughout the entire season for all the teams combined. I don't think anybody really gives a shit about most of them. So NBA, although it gets incredible ratings and TV markets, and these TV deals that they've signed and they've just signed are completely massive, and there's all these channels combined to do it in all this push. It still struggles because, quite frankly, from October to May, most of these games nobody really cares about. They don't mean anything. Half these players don't play in all the games because they're resting them for the season that really matters, which is the postseason. And the NBA has done this to kind of somewhat match the kind of tournaments, in-season tournaments, be it Champions League or, country tournaments that European football has, right? There's the FA Cup in England. I'll use an example, which is essentially every club in England who is registered with the English Football League. Every year at the beginning of the season, there is this massive FA Cup tournament, which everybody from Joe Blow Rec League, you and your mates out there playing around for fun, to Manchester City are in this tournament, and they can play each other, right? And then at the end, it's just, single elimination, everybody goes through, and then at the end of the year, there's the FA Championship. And then you win that, and you are essentially the King of England football, right? King of English football, right? Not the Premier League, not Championship League, not League One, not League Two, whatever. Every team, you're the champ. And that happens in the middle of the regular Premier League and Champion League, and then there's the Champions League tournament, which is all of Europe together, all the champs. So the NBA was trying to move to some sort of format there, right? To make these games matter, to make it more interesting, and get players to be invested in more a little bit. Great. I'm all for it. I understand it. I think there needs to be some rule changes where perhaps, if you win this in-season tournament, right, and I'm not just talking from the East or from the West, if you win it, you are automatically locked into the playoffs no matter what. So at the end, if you win the in-season tournament and at the end of the season, you are the 12th ranked team in the Western Conference, say, right, where you normally would not have been. You missed the bubble, you're not in a play-in game, but you won the in-season tournament, which means you're automatically locked in. Now, if they want to have us say, all right, you're at a certain level, if that works out, that's fine, but make it worth something, right, to just so that every team really has a purpose to do this, to be like, hey, man, we don't know how the season's going to go. We don't know how injuries are going to work out. We don't know this, that, and the other trades we make. Who knows? But if we win this, we know for sure that we're locked in. So give it some gravitas and make it actually worth something other than just, hey, we had an in-season tournament because life, and do those things. My number one drawback and issue that I have with the in-season tournament so far is these courts that they're putting up to play on. These courts look like they belong out of some sort of NBA Jams remix fever dream video game. And I love me some NBA Jams back in the day. But these courts are just over the top. It's just too much. They would have been better off having, I don't know, maybe tournament jerseys other than these goofy ass courts. Again, go look some of these up. Some of them are like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Or, wow, that looks really nice. Other ones, the Bulls look like my retina's hurt after I watch a Bulls in-season tournament game. The red and the dark that is everywhere, it is unbelievable. For any of you who have never been on a naval vessel at night, they turn off all the lights basically and put on the running lights, and it's red lights everywhere, right? It's dark. You can't see anything. It's dark. And when I was in, I was IT, I was a radio man, I was in the Radio Shack where it's essentially just a radio room. You're in there and you have normal lights on, right? Fluorescent lights. And God forbid you ever had to take a message or something up to the deck where, the captain and navigator, whoever's up there at the time is up there. But again, it's red running lights. It's dark up there. There's no lights on. And you leave a normally lit room and then you walk into that and you are legit just blind. You can't see anything. And you walk in there and they can see completely fine because they've been in this. And you walk in there, just stumble around like three blind mice. And you're like, I'm here to give a paper to somebody. And they're like, I'm right here. And I'm like, I can't see you. Like, come on, man. Like, just, if you can see me, just take the damn paper. But that's essentially what some of these NBA courts are doing. They're just burning the retinas out of me. So fix that one. I understand everything else, but these courts are a little bit over the top. But give a little bit more meaning and purpose to this tournament, not just win it to win it or win it for money or whatever other nonsense. These guys get ridiculous amounts of money that is guaranteed. If I signed a $300 million contract today for the NBA and tomorrow I cut off my little toe and can never play again, they still owe me all the money. So stop making it about money. Make it worth something. Make these plays, guys play for something and have a purpose. So put some meaning into these games. And for God's sake, please, Jesus, love of God above, get rid of those damn courts. Our third and final subject of the day, if you really want to call it a subject, was something I saw the other day, and it piqued my interest for a variety of reasons. One, I love chaos, and I love anger, and I like getting mad at stupid people saying and doing stupid things because they're completely out of touch with any sort of reality. And I'm more mad because I'm like, why am I burdened with common sense and logic? Like, it seems unfair at times that I have to suffer through this while other people who are vastly superior off than I am get to live just blissfully, just like idiots with no clue going on here. And it's amazing how much fame and money and notoriety and this day and age, infamy can get you through a lot of things. It gets you through a lot of things. You can do it. Many, many things. I have words. I know the best words. But this week, the owner of the Colts, Jim Irsay, who is a massive guitar enthusiast and also an enthusiast of all things brown liquor related. Allegedly. I don't want to get sued. I don't know what he's going to sue me for. Salem's bed here. Anyway, so he was on giving an interview the other day, and back in, I believe it was 2014, somewhere around there, he was pulled over for a DUI, or possible DUI, or OWI, or whatever the hell your state calls it, right? Good old days of drunk driving, right? And this is a man who was born into money, right? He got his money the old-fashioned way. He was born with it. So he was pulled over, and he wasn't pulled, according to him, he was not pulled over solely because he was drinking. He was pulled over because they had a problem with him for being a rich, white, male billionaire. That was the real problem, right? It wasn't the fact that this guy was tipsy like he was in some sort of Jaquan video. It was because he was rich. And, it's really tough. It's really tough to be rich and just have basically everything you want and access to everything and the ability to do whatever you want at any time. It's difficult. It's a burden. And we should really have a little bit more sympathy for these people. And then when it was then later discussed on ESPN, somebody made the comment that there was drugs in the car as well, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. And, then he threatened to sue, the host and the person who said it and ESPN and sue everybody else because, again, get your money the old-fashioned way. I sued for it. So all of this, again, missing the main issue, which is you were pulled over, and he's had an issue with this in the past of issues with alcohol, issues with substances, and we've talked about this on previous shows. And I'm very sympathetic to people who have any sort of substance abuse of any kind or mental issues of any kind. I suffer with things myself. So I take issue when people who clearly have problems, big or small, for whatever reasons, but then do not still accept responsibility for what they've done. And what has happened. And then to just make the most just jackass statement ever to say that, well, I wasn't pulled over because I looked like I was on expert level. It was the first day playing Grand Theft Auto. Maybe I had hookers. I don't know. But to say, well, it was because I'm a rich white guy. That's why I got pulled over. Like, the fuck, bro? Like, check yourself. Like, that is just idiotic. But I think that, and most people think that, but then you have to remember what they think. They don't live in our world. They don't have to deal with the things that we have to deal with. And any rich person or of any race and any gender, they really do not think the way that we think, right? Their world is different than ours. And it's just another one of those things where it presents itself to us when the quiet things are said out loud and things that people think about other people in certain situations when they come out and then say the words that we all think already, and we go, oh shit, I guess we were right. But I would just say to people of his ilk who are clearly not listening to my dumbass on this platform, or anybody like this in this platform, but sometimes take a step back, look at yourself, reassess yourself, and maybe think before you talk, right? Don't press send. Don't press send. Or, if you have to, drink more or drink less, however it works for you. But yeah, sometimes people need to reassess themselves and maybe just be thankful for what they already have in life and be smarter. Or maybe, I don't know, again, because you are super rich and own an NFL team, maybe, I don't know, call a fucking Uber. And in honor of Thanksgiving, I think it's appropriate that we should do the things that we should probably do and say every day, but we don't, which is to say the things that we are thankful for in our lives, be it things, be it people, be it, dark chocolate peanut butter cups, whatever it happens to be, whatever you're thankful for. We should say these things to people all the time, but we don't. But it's Thanksgiving, and it's in the freaking name. Thanksgiving. What are we thankful for? So some of the things that I am thankful for is obviously, my family and my loved ones, the people that truly care about me and I truly care about them. Whether they've been in my life since the day I came out with a broken collarbone, or who I've only met in the last week, whatever it happens to be, I'm thankful for having them in my life. For one way or another, they have helped shape me, they have helped support me, they have helped mold me, and I am very thankful for them. And when I say family, I do not just mean blood connected family, that we have the same strains of DNA that connect us. That is not the family that I am always speaking of. I'm obviously very thankful for my family, but most of the time I am thankful for my chosen family, right? Those people that we have all decided to be in our lives and to have in our lives, and they've allowed us in their lives, right? Family is not just blood. It means more than that. It means that you guys are maybe even more connected than regular family. Family, you're like, well, we're kind of stuck with each other. We have to be. But chosen family is even more special. So to all of those chosen family members out there, thank you so much for everything that you've done for me and helped me with over the years. And I'm very thankful for all of you, friends, my brothers that I've coached with all the years, all of my incredible players I've had over the years, friends and family that have just coming out of it over the years, people I've served with, here and not. You've made an incredible impact on my life, and I can never thank you enough. And hopefully you all know I'm always here for you. I'm the friend when you're like, Jesus, somebody should probably say something or do something, but I don't know what to do. Hopefully everybody knows that I'm the idiot that you can just send in to do it. And whether it's a place to stay, a hug, some French fries, or send me on a mission to physically harm somebody, allegedly. Know that I'm always on your side. I always have your back, and nothing will ever change that. So those are things and people that I am thankful for. Obviously thankful for my incredible daughter. I'm thankful for my parents. I'm thankful for my brother. And I will be super thankful for deviled eggs later on today. Mom, if you heard that, deviled eggs, don't just make 6 of them. I'm going to eat those. I'm going to eat 6 in like 2 seconds. So, but I'm thankful for all of you as well. I really do appreciate, in the few weeks I've been doing these, I don't know who's listening. I don't know if you guys are enjoying these or not. I hope you are. If you are, please like, subscribe, send comments down below. Comments, complaints, gripes, threats of violence, whatever. I like to hear from everybody. But I am thankful to you guys as well who have taken time out of your days to listen to me just blabber on about whatever I feel for the week. As usually, my cat Salem just gives me disgruntled work as he's trying to nap and I'm screaming next to him. But thankful to you guys as well, and hopefully we can continue to have fun on this journey. But yeah, I'm thankful for all of that. I bitch and moan a lot, but I'm super lucky. I'm super fortunate. So could always be worse. It could always be worse. I could have to eat, canned cranberry. Although I do actually like that. Well, that's it for this week's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it and had some fun and enjoy listening to me rant on about rich white people and other people's poor financial decision making and NBA burning out people's retinas and giving us night terrors. But yeah, I just I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy the show and talking to you guys. And hopefully we're getting a little bit better every week. And I apologize for my voice in this episode. Not that my voice ever sounds really good, but after my trips to Alabama, my sinuses kind of went into revolt the last few days. So thank you guys for listening to this nasal voice. I will always do better in the next one, or at least try to. And anything that you guys want to talk about, anything that you want to discuss, anything that's on your mind, please feel free to message. And let's see, this week's poll question will go with, let's see, what can we go with? Let's go with Michigan and Ohio State. Who do we think is going to win? And do we care who wins at all? I don't really care. Somebody out there cares. But enjoy your holiday today. Tell the people that you care about, that you get to spend time with today, whether you're with them or far apart. Tell them that you're thankful for them and how much you appreciate them. If you could, take a moment out of your day as well when you guys are coming out of your food comas and watching football games, that you fell asleep during the Lions game and woke up halfway through the Cowboys game and have no idea what's going on. In the middle of that, if you could just send a quick little thought to our incredible servicemen and women all around the globe who are far away from their families, who wish they could be with theirs. Just a little thought and thanks to them while they're out there. I'd appreciate it. I know they'd appreciate it. But enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see what happens. And we will definitely discuss it in the next episode. So enjoy. Have fun. Dig in. Go Mules.